G'day everybody and welcome back to my channel. This isn't clickbait. I am getting to this. I just wanted to show you all why I've been so busy. I've still got a lot to go. In fact, those are the boxes that I've cleared. Okay, that's a lie. Those four and I think one of these boxes were just empty ones that were sitting up there. All those other boxes and about 3 whole drawers that had mixed components in it, plus all those transistors that you saw in one of my last videos that was all mixed transistors that I was sorting out. I've organized that, plus I ended up, after I showed you guys that I got some monolithic capacitors and they came in with better results than my brand name ones, I went and ordered all the rest of the values that I was missing. So now what I've done is I've organized all my 0307 inductors, all my monolithic capacitors, all my 1 kilovolt ceramics, which some of them are over here, and then there's like random ones up there. Some of them are like 6 kilovolt, 3 kilovolt. Anyway, I only keep a small quarter watt range. That's about it, because I don't use quarter watt. They are 1% metal film, but I only use half watt 1% metal film because of the better Tempco and the better thermals and better power handling. It's just a no-brainer. Because I find with these, you see, although they're 1%, they're quarter watt and they get hot real quick, and then that throws the Tempco off, which, you know, it's throwing the percentage off. So, you know, it might start out 1%, but if it runs hotter, it might end up being 2%. You know what I'm trying to say? So I like the half watt ones better. That nothing's changed. Surface mount components. The only thing that's changed here is this box here that I've been ordering parts for repairs that are coming up in. I also ordered a surface mount capacitor kit from one of the sellers I've been getting all good stuff from, not dodgy stuff. I tested a few of them, they came in good. So here's the other thing I want to do. So you'll notice a lot of these boxes don't have hinges on the back, and other ones have hinges. So I'm planning on keeping all the surface mount stuff in these sorts of boxes, because when this lab's fitted out, there will be from somewhere around there covering all of that wall, and all of that wall will be all of these component boxes. Incidentally, there's another 3 on the way, and I'll get to why in a minute. Alright, and then there's going to be some shelves. All this stuff and like all the loose bits and pieces will go on the shelves, you know. This will get mounted on the wall too. And then that'll give me this entire desk, this work area. I've got another huge desk I can put here. That will give me more work area. All these bodgy ass milk crates and pieces of wood can come out because I've got proper tables. Literally, excuse my house, it's not the tidiest. There's crap everywhere. Like I said, I build a lot of stuff. I'm always playing around with speakers. That's what half of all this wood's for. But that big thing you see sitting there with the legs taped up, that's a desk. And I've got a few things like this to set up in here. So between this big desk, that big desk, a few sets of drawers and with small tables on them and stuff like that, and the shelving that I've already got in here, shelving that I'm going to put up on the walls, the component boxes on the walls. I'll have it's already a nice lab, it's just really tightly packed. And I've got also, on top of the equipment I've got at least another 4 bits of equipment coming. In the next week, I've got a 34401 coming that I'm sending off to get calibrated. In the next month, I'm getting a Quantasylum. My dream analog scope, the Tech 2465B, and the PVDS2 Mini. So all that's got to all fit, you know, in here too. I probably want to get like a some sort of spectrum analyzer, nano VNA. I don't know. Probably full on spectrum analyzer, I think. But they'll come obviously further in the future. Wouldn't mind getting like a Keithley 2015 or similar series THD multimeter, but not for the THD purpose so much, because I'll be getting the Qantas Island, but just because they're alright. But although with the 34401A, I don't think there's any point. Anyway, what I wanted to get to is I finished stocking all that up. Those drawers here that were still unpopulated are now all populated with stuff. Pretty much everything's all chockers. And then over here I've started on these drawers. So again, just organising stuff. And then there's that little bit at the top that's spare. And the rest of that stuff sort of picks back up over here. I know there's random stuff in there, like there's a bloody instrumentation amplifier there and a TL084 with a TL074 right next to a bunch of MOSFETs and stuff. You know, like a lot of stuff in here doesn't make sense. 555 series, you know, it's just random stuff everywhere. But the point is, there's 170 values of quarter watt carbon film resistors. What are they? 5%. Yeah, 5%. 170 values. 33 drawers, 3 compartments in each. Roughly 90, almost 100 drawers. 170 is going to take 2 of those. So just imagine 2 of those are gone for quarter watt resistors. That leaves that one there. And that leaves that there. No joke. That's all the space I have left. I still want to get entire E12 half watt metal film range, 1% in drawers. Plus all my high resistance like sub-ohm plus meg to giga-ohm value resistors. I want them in drawers. Don't forget, my 1 watt carbon collection is quite small. So I've ordered a complete kit to add to all this so that there's no missing values in that range. I want that in drawers. And then don't forget, I got the metal film resistors. Plus I've got all my pots and power resistors. So I've ordered another 3 boxes. It's weird, man. Last time I looked, sorry if I was a bit racist, then there might be females listening. Sorry, guys and girls. Well, last time I ordered these, I tried to order 4 of the boxes, and it would only let me order 2 of these. 3. So it said that was the last of the stock. When I went on today, it let me order another 3. So, I mean, you bet I took them, because, like I said, that's 2 boxes gone. This, when it's the whole range, will take probably about a box. Those 4 will take about another box, maybe half a box. And then there's that. So with another 3, it'll give me enough to sort everything out properly. And I should have about maybe a box and a half, 2 boxes left for future components. You know, like I salvage circuit boards. You know, like I've been doing electronics since I was literally a little kid. And I can tell you now that I'm going to get more components. So I want to just kit out the whole room, wall to wall with component boxes. It's going to look like Michael Dranfield's workshop. And you know what? I'll be bloody proud of it, because I love it. There's nothing better than sitting here doing your work and being able to get up and just have a look at what you've got, load up data sheets, have a look, grab the component, get to work, you know, no screwing around involved. You know, it's a beautiful thing. Don't have to wait. That's why I try and keep stocked up on things, you know. Things I use a lot, I keep massive stock of, like half watt metal film. There's a whole box of them there. There's all of these ones, plus my, you know, because I use shit tons of them. The same with these. I don't use them as often, but I didn't just grab the one pack, I grabbed two. Got them a couple of years ago, but still. You know, things I don't use as much, like the 1/4 watt metal films. There's 10, 20 of each. You know? You know, incidentally, a lot of these parts aren't things that I've bought, you know, so you'll get drawers that are packed out with like a load from something I've bought. You'll get boards that have just got, sorry, not boards, boxes that would just have, you know, a couple or something in it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'll just be one of something in it. You know, the amounts just truly vary on how they were sourced. So, yeah, some things are board pulls, some things are hand-me-downs, like people have given me, like old, like that was given to me, full of old component collections. Sorry, I just grabbed one of these plastic things out the you know what, it's probably come out one of these other boxes. Yeah, so and then I have also this other collection of old school boards that I've kept aside because obviously that pretty much everything on that's screwed because of leakage, but you know, some of them have got really old school parts that I want to take off. Look at that, the old transistors still HFE marked with colours. You know, look at all that down in there. There's stuff from that power supply build I did. There's tubes, there's huge tuning condensers from old radios, double gang pots. All this stuff's, this is like my other board collection of stuff to strip down, but for time appropriate parts where I want to build like a replica old radio or something like that. So I'm trying to slowly amass a collection of old parts, and I have. I've even got, I've even started amassing slowly a collection of germanium diodes of different types. Yeah, I got some interesting random stuff, and incidentally, I got on the way. I've got a couple more things. Like I got these low inductance 0.22 ohm emitter resistors for my amp builds. By the way, I think I mentioned that in the last video anyway. I can't remember. I don't have too much more on the way. I've got 6-core silicon cable to replace this 5-core silicon cable, so the shake sensor works. Oh yeah, there's carbon film resistors. I bought some polymer capacitors because I've literally got about 1 or 2 polymer capacitors in this whole collection, believe it or not. So I bought some polymer capacitors, probably about 15 common values just to get me by. Yeah, and all that. I want to get it all organised, so it's getting there, you know. It'll be really great when I get the lab sorted out because a lot of stuff like boxes of parts and all this random stuff, that'll all be up on the shelving, and then that'll give me shelves like this to put stuff like all my power supplies and different various transformers and ballasts and stuff like neatly on the shelves, you know. And I'll put some nicer hooks up instead of nails to hang off all my like wire and cables and stuff like that. But first thing that's going to happen is this floor's going to come out because it's, you can hear it. Yeah, it's no good. There was termites in it years ago. I got rid of the termites. They've never come back, but they've done their damage. They took out some of the main beams that go across right here, here, and maybe there. There's at least 2 beams that go across missing, and a couple of the floorboards themselves got eaten. So, yeah, I'm taking the floor out, painting and fixing the walls up, and then I'm just going to mount. I haven't really thought about it because I've got so many boxes, especially these. Like, could you imagine drilling, say, 2 or 3 wall plugs and screws for each row of these, right? And trying to find the bricks to line them up. Like, I think what I might do is just mount, say, a couple of like like only 3/4 inch, maybe 1 inch thick by 3.5 inch wide strips of wood along the bricks and mount all my boxes, or mount a thin sheet of MDF or something to that, and then mount the boxes to. I haven't really thought about how I'm going to do it yet, but yeah. So there'll be a whole video documentary on that. What I'll do is I'll set up a little work corner. Like, I'll take my scope, a couple of multimeters, maybe just a dual tracking supply, soldering station, and I'll set all that up on the desk in another room, and I'll put all these component boxes in my hall or something like that whilst this room's getting done, so that I can still keep working on the side. So it'll be like a video tour basically of this room getting refitted out, and a different work area for a bit. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to see how I feel. Like I said, I haven't been feeling too well the last few days. As you can probably tell, I don't have a blocked nose. I'm not coughing now, but I feel sick in the stomach, and I just don't have energy and motivation at the moment. So, we'll see how I go. But if I don't get this done tonight, I'll be getting it done in the morning and uploading it then. I have got... I ordered those DTA144 AKA transistors. I ordered 20 of them, so there's no worries there. Yeah, that's it for now. Just wanted to give everyone an update of what's going on. Like I said, I've been really busy sorting out components, and you see what I mean. All these drawers, incidentally, you can probably tell from the labelling, hold 3 things. So, trying to mark all this stuff out. Like just doing this took literally hours. I had to get up under there to write what they are. Quarter watt, 1% metal film, and put all the values on it, and everything else. 50 volt mono, all the values. It takes time. Like some of these drawers, they didn't have separators, so I had to cut them out of plastic. It's taken me quite some time to get through all this. And then in the future, I still want to organise it more. It's not too bad. Like, you get used to where your own shit is, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm looking for capacitors, I always start looking around here. I know I've got a couple more stragglers around there and somewhere up the top there, and then if I'm looking for smaller sort of polys and discs and high voltage stuff and all this sort of stuff, films, I'll, come over here, and I know there's a couple down there, and you know what I mean? Now I know that there's some there and some there, you know what I mean? Like, as messy and unorganized. Look, there's another whole subject on itself. All my Weimer capacitors are just literally crammed into 4 drawers. Just based on average size, not even values, I wouldn't mind getting all those into drawers. So, yeah, it's safe to say this wall from those boxes there, I've already counted it out. I can fit enough in here. In between here and there, just going 2 boxes, 2 boxes, 2 boxes, nothing more than that. That's already like including these. Like, look, if you say that's one box, say that and that equals one box. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, because I just ordered some. 22 boxes. I'll probably end up having to order one more. If I can't get it from JK, I'll get it from Amazon because of those Wahima capacitors I just noticed. So what's that, 24 did I say? Well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24, 26, 28, 30. I'd be able to fit 30 just one on top of another at a decent height where I can sort of like, I want everything so it's like no lower than around about, somewhere around about here or here and up to around about maybe there. That's a good height. Yeah. I'll work it out when I come to it, but what I don't like is how I've got a lot of them down lower, so I've got to bend down to see what's actually written, you know what I mean? And then, just getting up too high, that's a problem too. So I just want to go 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Like I said, some shelving around the place, bigger work desks, free up all the other shelving I've got. But yeah. All right. Thanks for watching my little update. Actually, I'll just pan around a little bit more because I know someone asked me recently to just give a quick tour of my lab. I got my I don't know why it's not turned on. One moment, sorry. What happened to my TV? Oh, HDMI cable got bumped. So I got all my scope probes and high frequency cables and shielded stuff and LCR probes and alligator to banana to banana, just all your normal cables, my fume extractor, some crappy stuff, a couple of things I'm rebuilding, a test stickers that and that disagree sometimes. That reads buggered parts as good, whereas that still detects it, but other than that, it's a piece of shit. What else? Just what you see. Just a lot of random stuff. That's a curve tracer that I'm building. Power supply, load bank, stuff I'm working on. Random collection of meters, current clamps, high voltage generator, Atlas DCA Pro 75, DCA 75 Pro, another power supply, sort of load bank for intermediate stages of amplifiers, DG 2070, ARB, 55,000 count multimeter that I converted to battery because I wasn't going to pay the extra $150 for the battery version. That's just bloody insanity. I think it cost me like $20-30 to do it. Power supply I'm working on, just random bits and pieces, you know, thermoplaster, silver, silver stuff. I forget what it's called. It's not, you can't tell it's all silver because it's not mixed up properly. One sec. There you go. German light silver for making redoing traces on like flex cables and stuff like that. Different thickness. Always when you got one hand, these things happen, right? Tweezers, carbon, fiberglass pencil, leaded solder paste, heatsink compound, small Phillips and small flatted plastic drivers. Incidentally, there's another one there. They're good for IF stages and stuff like that. Just my crazy ass dim bulb with main and bypass and banana outputs and 2 power points on it. 25 watt increment switches. Soldering station, hot air, desoldering gun, bigger soldering iron, thermal controller I built for it, little heat pad that I made to help with boards when I can't get them hot enough. Yeah, just more random projects. Batteries and bits and pieces. More random products and bits and pieces. The only tools that I have in the lab, all my big serious tools, are outside. Got a Dremel in here and a little vise, but yeah. And then under here is just sort of stock. It's very stock. And heat sinks in that box and bigger heat sinks and stuff like that. Chassis and whatnot down here. You know, random stuff in these drawers too. Got some boxes of just inductors and chokes and transformers and stuff because I rewind them for my own purposes. Got a couple of heat sinks here already with a whole load of bias and outputs fitted on it. This one's for another amp that I'm going to build. It's got SAP 15s on it. Yeah, I've got so much random stuff around the place. This is what I was running one of my huge ass systems in my living room off of. Cat's pissed all over it, and I didn't realise it was on the floor behind a cabinet. Got all corroded. I cleaned it out and it still works, but just they made a mess of everything. But I modified a huge main wheel switching power supply. Built some massive capacitor banks and powered what was it, 2 500 watt RMS amplifiers, 350 watt RMS amplifier, and a 550. Or is it? Yeah, something like that. I can't remember. Had 4 8-inch kickers running about 250 watts RMS, 300 watts each, something like that. And then a whole crap ton of speakers with almost equal wattage. Dual 16 band EQ. Originally I used to run it off of this. I rewound the welding transformer and added heat sinking to it, and heaps of rectifiers on the heat sink with a fan blowing at it, and that used to go to the other capacitor bank. That basically I upgraded that to the switchmate power supply, and the capacitor bank got moved over to that. But yeah, now I'm back to using proper amps. I build my own amps at the moment. I'm just using a crap Sony system to get me by, but that's why I want to hurry up and build my amplifiers. So I guess there you go. There's a little tour of the lab. Rubbish bin. There's also like just some random appliance parts down here, and thicker copper wire and more wire, more just random stuff to pull parts out of, and yeah, my e-scooter that I've got to rebuild. Just so much random stuff in here. That's why I've got to rebuild it. I've got to fix the floor and I need more space. Incidentally, there's a few new things on the project board. That's what I mean. Like, once I'm finished working on the few things that I've got around here, there's going to be some really interesting stuff coming up. So you guys won't be bored at all. I know there's not a lot going on at the moment whilst I'm setting stuff up and buying equipment and fixing power supplies and designing power supplies, and I want to go over things I've bought and improve them a bit to my standards. But once all that's done, we got some cool stuff to start on and finish. Anyway, that's all. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.